Was so, when the whole world was covered with water, there wasn't nothing but worms and blobs of jelly. And you and your whole family was worms.
We was not.
Blobs of jelly, then.
Howard Blair, that's sinful talk. I'm going to tell my pa, and he'll make you wash your mouth out with soap.
Oh, your old man's a monkey. Finally. What do you want to be when you grow up?
Mr. Meeker?
Who is it? Oh, hello, Rachel. It's you. Excuse the way I look. You're not going away, are you? Exciting's just starting.
Mr. Meeker, don't let my father know I came here.
Well, the Reverend don't tell me his business. I don't know why I should tell him mine.
I want to see your case. Is he all right?
I don't know why he shouldn't be. I always figured the safest place in the world was a jail.
Can I go down and see him?
He didn't very proper place for a minister's daughter.
I only want to see him for a minute.
Sit down, Rachel. I'll bring him up. You can talk to him right here in the courtroom. You know, so long as I've been bailiff here, we've had nothing but drunks and vagrants and a couple of chicken thieves. Our best catch is that fellow from Minnesota that chopped up his wife. We had to extradite him. It seems kind of funny having a school teacher in the jail. Heck, you might improve the writing on the walls. I'll leave you two alone to talk. Don't run off, Bert.
Hello, Bert.
Rach, I told you not to come here.
I couldn't help it. Nobody saw me. Mr. Meeker won't tell. You seem to be locked up in here.
You know something funny? The food's better than the boarding house. And you better not tell anybody how cool it is down there. We'll have a crime wave every summer.
I stopped by your place and picked up some of your things. A clean shirt, your best ties and handkerchiefs.
Thanks.
Bert, why don't you just tell us all the joke? Tell them that you didn't mean to break the law and that you won't do it again.
I suppose everybody's teamed up about Brady coming.
He's coming on a special train out of Chattanooga. Paul's going to the station to meet him. Everybody is.
Strike up the band.
Bert, it's still not too late. Why can't you just admit you're wrong? If the biggest man in the country, next to the president maybe, if Matthew Harrison Brady comes here to tell the whole world how wrong you are.
You still think I did wrong?
Why did you do it?
You know why I did it. I had this book in my hand. Hunter Civic Biology. I opened it up and I read my sophomore science class chapter 17. Darwin's Origin of Species. All it says is that man wasn't stuck here like a geranium in a flower pot. That living comes from a long miracle. Just didn't happen in 7 days.
There's a law against it.
I know that.
Everybody says what you did is bad.
It isn't as simple as all that. Good or bad, black or white, night or day. Didn't you know at the top of the world, the twilight is 6 months long?
But we don't live at the top of the world. We live in Hillsboro. And when the sun goes down, it's dark. And why do you have to try to make it different? Here.
Thanks.
Why can't you just be on the right side of things?
Your father's side. Rach. Hold me.
I got a sweet.
Thanks for the shirt.
Imagine, Matthew Harrison Brady coming here. I voted for him. Twice. Once in 1900 and again in '08. I wasn't old enough to vote for him the first time here, but my pa did. I seen him once at a Chautauqua meeting in Chattanooga. 10 holes shook. Who's going to be your lawyer, son?
I'm not sure. I wrote to that newspaper in Baltimore. They're sending somebody.
You better be loud.
You want me to go back down?
You don't have to. You can stay up here if you want.
I'm supposed to be in jail. I'd better be in jail.
The devil ain't so
Reverend, just now.
See that you have it up before Mr. Brady arrives.
Yes, Reverend.
We must show him at once what kind of community this is.
As fast as we can do it, Reverend. Come on, Phil. Help.
Big day, Reverend.
Indeed it is. Picnic lunch ready, Mrs. Krebs?
Fit for a king.
Station master says Old 94 is on time out of Chattanooga. Brady's on board, all right.
Brady is here. People are gonna pour in. The town's gonna fill up like a rain river or flood.
That means business.
You bet.
Where are they gonna stay? Where are we gonna sleep, all them people? They got money. We'll sleep on. Looks like the biggest nations. We put up Coxey's army.
Hey, Betty Phineas get out her big bass drum. And you ought to see what they've done to the depot. Ribbons all over the rain spouts.
Lemonade, lemonade.
It's all ready, Reverend. Hot dogs! Get your red hots! Hot dogs!
Get your fans. Compliments of Mary's funeral home. 35 cents. Lemonade, lemonade.
Howard!
Howard,
Hey, Mom, this is just like the county fair.
will you settle down and stop running around? And pay attention when Mr. Brady gets here. Spit down your hair. Oh, snow. Feed the monkey. Feed the monkey. Only a nickel.
Hot dogs! Get your red hots! Hot dogs!
When a fan compliments Mary's funeral home, 35 cents.
I die first.
You're a stranger, aren't you, mister? You want a nice, clean place to stay?
I had a nice clean place to stay, madam, and I left it to come here.
You're gonna need a room.
I have a reservation at the mansion house.
Oh, that's all right, I suppose. For them, it's like having a privy practically in the bedroom.
The unplumbed and plummingless depths. Hillsborough. Heavenly Hillsborough. Buckle on the Bible belt. Hallelujah. Now, that poses a pretty problem. Which is hungrier? My stomach? Or my soul? My stomach.
What are you? An evolutionist, an infidel, or a sinner?
Of course I am, isn't everyone? Grandpa, welcome to Hillsborough, sir. Tell me, are you here to testify for the defense or for the prosecution? No comment, eh? That's fairly safe. But I must warn you, sir, you can't compete with all these monkey shines.
Look, he's a redheading.
Now, how can you ask for better proof than that? There's the father of the human race.
Train's coming! I see the smoke way up the track!
All the members of the Bible League, get ready. We must show Mr. Brady the spirit with which we welcome him to Hillsborough.
Come we rise, now of the Lord, and let our joys be known. Join in a song of sweet accord, join in a song of sweet accord, and thus around the throne, and thus around the throne. We're marching to Zion, beautiful, beautiful Zion. We're marching up to the throne.
Amen! Shield your eyes, mother. You're about to meet the mightiest of your descendants. A man that wears a cathedral for a cloak and a church spire for a hat. Whose tread has the thunder of the legions of the lion-hearted. Hey, you're missing the show.
Somebody's got to mind the store.
Do you mind if I ask your opinion, madam, on the subject of evolution?
I don't have any opinion. Too bad for business.
Sound the trumpet, beat the drum! Everybody's come to town to see your competition, monk. Alive and breathing in the county cooler. A high school teacher. Why? Not take.
am here to defend that which is precious in the hearts of all of us, the living truth of the Holy Scriptures. Be happy to oblige, Sarah.
No, Matt, just you and the dignitaries.
Thank you.
Hey, you are the mayor, are you not, sir?
I am, sir.
My name is Matthew Harrison Brady.
Oh, I know. Everybody knows that. I had a little speech of welcome ready, but somehow it didn't seem necessary.
I should be honored to hear your words of greeting, sir.
Mr. Matthew Harrison Brady, this municipality is proud to have within its city limits the warrior who has always fought for us ordinary people. The ladies of this town wouldn't have the vote if it wasn't for you fighting for all that suffrage. Mr. President Wilson would never have got to the White House or won the war if it wasn't for you supporting him. And in conclusion... Thank you.
Matt, you didn't have your coat on.
Perhaps you'd have a more formal pose. Who is the spiritual leader of your community?
That would be the Reverend Jeremiah Brown. Your servant in the Lord.
Yes. The Reverend is my right and the Mayor is my left. Now we must look grave, gentlemen, but not too serious. Hopeful, I think, is the word. We must look hopeful.
And in conclusion, the governor of our state has vested in me the authority to confer upon you a commission as honorary colonel in our state militia.
Colonel Brady, I like the sound of that.
We thought you might be hungry after your train ride, so the members of our ladies' aid have prepared a buffet lunch.
Splendid, I could do with a little snack.
Mr. Brady? Oh, I mean Colonel Brady. All of us here, well, we voted for you 3 times.
I trust it was in 3 separate elections.
Sir, I'm Tom Davenport.
Of course, the Circuit District Attorney. We'll be a team, young man, quite a team. Ha! What a challenge it is to put on the old armor again. To test the steel of our truth against the blasphemies of science. To stand forth and...
Matthew, it's a warm day. Remember the doctor told you not to overeat.
Mother, it's just a bite or two. Now let's see. Who among you knows the defendant? Cates, is that his name?
Well, we all know him, sir. Just about everybody in Hillsborough knows everybody else.
But can someone tell me this fellow Cates a criminal by nature?
Bert isn't a criminal.
But wait, my child. Is Mr. Cates your friend?
I can't tell you anything about him.
Rachel, my daughter will be pleased to answer any questions you have on Bertram Cates.
Your daughter, Reverend. You must be very proud indeed. Now tell me, my child, how did you come to be acquainted with Mr. Cates?
At school, I'm a school teacher too.
I trust you teach according to the precepts of the law.
I try. My pupils are only 2nd graders.
Has Mr. Cates ever tried to pollute your mind with his heathen dogma?
Bert isn't a heathen.
I understand your loyalty, my child, for this man in your jailhouse. A fellow school teacher, likable, no doubt, and you are loath to speak out against him in front of all of these people. Think of me as a friend, my child, and tell me what troubles you.
Who's going to be the defense attorney?
We don't know yet. It hasn't been announced. Well, whoever he is, he won't have much chance against your husband. Willie, this is great.
I disagree.
Who are you?
Hornbeck. E.K. Hornbeck of the Baltimore Herald.
Hornbeck.
I'm a newspaper man bearing news. When this sovereign state decided to indict the sovereign mind of a less than sovereign school teacher, my editor decided there was more than a headline here. The Baltimore Herald, therefore, is happy to announce it's sending 2 representatives to Heavenly Hillsborough. The most brilliant journalist in America today, myself, and the most agile legal mind in the world today, Henry Drummond.
Drummond?
Henry Drummond, the agnostic.
I heard about him. He just got those 2 Chicago child murders off just the other day.
A vicious, godless man.
A Merry Christmas and a jolly 4th of July.
Well, Henry Drummond for defense. Henry Drummond is an agent of darkness. We won't allow him in this town. I can't think of by what law you can keep him out, Reverend. I could look it up in the town ordinances. I saw Drummond once in a courtroom in Ohio. A man was on trial for a most brutal crime. But although he knew and admitted that the man was guilty, Drummond was perverting the evidence to turn the guilt away from the accused onto you and me and all of society.
Henry Drummond? Oh, dear me.
I can see him now. His head juts out like animals. You look into his face and you wonder why God would make such a man. But then you know God did not make this man. He is a creature of the devil, perhaps the devil himself.
St. George had slain a dragonfly, who would remember?
Carefully sprinkle that cuts, Mr. Brady.
It would be a pity to see them go to waste.
Matt, do you think that you should...
Don't worry, Mother. I have to build up my strength for the battle ahead. Now let's see. What will Drummond do? He'll make us forget the lawbreaker and put the law on trial. But we'll have the answers for him right here in some of this nice thing this sweet child has told me.
But Mr. Brady,
A fine girl, Reverend, a fine girl.
My daughter has always been taught to do the righteous thing.
I'm sure she has. Thank you. A toast, then. A toast to the beginning of the trial and the success of our cause. A toast in good American lemonade.
Mr. Mayor, it's time now for Mr. Brady to take a nap. He always likes to nap after a meal.
We have a suite ready at the mansion house. I think you'll find your bags already there.
Right thoughtful. Considerate of you.
Come with me, it's only across the square.
Oh, and I want to thank the members of the Ladies' Aid for preparing such a splendid picnic repast.
It was our pleasure, sir.
Oh, and if it only seemed that I just picked at my food, it wasn't because I didn't enjoy it. But you see, we had a box lunch on the train.
Mr. Meeker! Mr. Meeker! Bert, can you hear me? Bert, you've got to tell me what to do. I don't know what to do.
I offer advice at remarkably low hourly rates. 10% off on married young ladies. Special discounts for the clergy and their daughters.
What are you doing here?
I'm expecting the battlefield the night before the battle. Before it's cluttered with the debris of journalistic campfires. Tell me, why do you want to see Bert Case? What's he to you? Or are you to him? Can it be the both beauty and biology on our side? Wait, there's a piece from my newspaper perhaps you'd like to see. Just arrived from that wicked Sodom and Gomorrah. Oh, not the entire edition, of course. No happy hooligan, Barney Google, Abe Kimmel. None of the stuff is worth reading. E.K. Hornbeck's brilliant little symphony of words. My typewriter's been singing a sweet, sad song about the Hillsborough heritage of BK's. Boy Socrates, latter-day Dreyfus, Romeo with the biology book. I may be rancid butter, but I'm on your side of the grill.
This sounds as if you're a friend of Bert's.
As much as a critic can be a friend to anyone. Don't worry, I'm not the serpent, little Eva. This isn't from any tree of knowledge. You won't find in the orchards of heavenly Hillsborough birches, beeches, butternuts, a few ignorance bushes. No tree of knowledge.
Will this be reprinted here?
In the Weekly Bugle? Or whatever they call that leaden stuff they roll through the local linotypes? I doubt it.
It would help, Bert, if people here could read this. You don't seem like the kind of person who would write an article like this. You seem so...
Cynical, huh? That's my fascination. I do hateful things for which people love me, lovable things for which they hate me. I'm the friend of enemies, the enemy of friends. I'm admired for my detestability. I'm both poles and the equator, with no temperate zones in between.
You make it sound as if Bert's a hero. I'd like to think that. But I can't. A school teacher is a public servant. I think he should do the law and the school board want him to. If the superintendent comes to me and says, Miss Brown, you should teach for Whitley's second reader, I don't feel I have to give him an argument.
Ever hear your pupils a snatch quiz on existence?
What?
Where we are, where we came from, where we're going.
All the answers to those questions are in the Bible.
All. You feed the youth of Hillsborough from the little truck garden of your mind.
I think there must be something wrong with Berkeley's going in like Mr. Brady comes here to speak out against him.
Matthew Harrison Brady came here to find himself a stump to shove from. That's all.
You couldn't understand. Mr. Brady's a champion of ordinary people, like us.
Wake up, Sleeping Beauty. The ordinary people played a dirty trick on Colonel Brady. They ceased to exist. The time was when Colonel Brady was the hero of the hinterland, water boy for the great unwashed. But they've got inside plumbing in their heads nowadays.
you attend church regularly?
Only on Sundays.
That's good enough for the prosecution. Your Honor, we'll accept this witness as a member of the jury.
One moment, Mrs. Bannister. You're not excused.
I want this seat right here in the jury box.
Well, hold your horses, Bannister. You may get it yet.
Mr. Drummond, you may examine the Venara.
Thank you, Your Honor. Mrs. Bannister, how come you're so anxious to get that front row seat over there?
Well, I hear it's going to be quite a show.
Well, I did the same thing. Ever read anything in a book about evolution?
Nope.
Or about a fellow named Charles Darwin?
Can't say that I have.
I'll bet you read your Bible.
Nope.
How come?
I can't read.
Well, you are very fortunate. She'll do.
You may take your seat, Mrs. Bannister. Mr. Meeker, will you call a Venara and fill the 12th from that seat on the jury?
Your Honor, before we continue, the court entertain a motion on the matter of procedure.
Will the learned prosecutor state the motion?
Since it has been called to my attention that the court has been so considerate for the health and well-being of the good citizens of Hillsborough, and it is now 97 degrees Fahrenheit, and it might get hotter, I don't feel that the dignity of the court will suffer any if we remove some of our superfluous outer garments.
Does the defense object to Colonel Brady's motion?
Well, I don't know if the honor of this court can be upheld with these galosses I've got on.
Well, we'll take that chance, Mr. Drummond. Those who wish to do so may remove their coats.
Is Mr. Drummond showing that the latest in fashion from the great metropolitan city of Chicago?
I'm glad you asked me that, Colonel. I brought these along special. It just so happens that I bought these galosses at Peabody's General Store in your hometown, Colonel Brady, Weeping Water, Nebraska.
Let us proceed with the selection of the final juror.
State your name and occupation.
Jessica H. Dunlap, seamstress, Hollister.
Do you believe in the Bible, Mrs. Dunlap?
I believe in the Holy Word of the Lord, and I believe in Matthew Harrison Brady.
This woman is acceptable to the prosecution.
Very well, Mr. Drummond.
No questions, not acceptable.
Does Mr. Drummond refuse a worthy woman a place on the jury simply because she believes in the Bible?
Well, if you can find an evolutionist in this town, you can refuse them.
Your Honor, I object to the counsel we're turning down a worthy citizen without even asking her a question.
All right, I'll ask her a question. How are you?
Kinda hot.
So am I. Excuse.
Your Honor, I object to the no profanity with the counsel for the defense is trying to introduce into these proceedings.
The bench agrees with you in spirit, Colonel Brady.
I object to all this damn colonel talk. I'm not familiar with Mr. Brady's military record.
Well, he's made an honorary colonel in our state militia the day he arrived in Hillsborough.
The use of this entitled prejudice is the case of my client. It calls up a picture of the prosecution astride a white horse, ablaze in the uniform of a militia colonel, with all the forces of right and righteousness marshaled behind him.
Well, what are we to do?
Break him. Make him a private. I have no serious objection to the honorary title of Private Brady.
Well, we can't take it back. 5:30 out? Well, I'm sure the governor won't have any objection. I hereby appoint you, Mr. Drummond, a temporary honorary colonel in our state militia.
Gentlemen, I don't know what to say. It isn't every day in a man's life when he attains the exalted rank of temporary honorary colonel.
It will be made permanent, of course, pending the arrival of the papers over the governor's signature.
I thank you.
Colonel Brady, Colonel Drummond. You will examine the Venara.
State your name and occupation.
George Sillers. I work at the feed store.
Tell me, sir, would you consider yourself to be a religious man?
I guess I'm as religious as the next man.
In Hillsborough, sir, that means a great deal. Now tell me, Mr. Smith, do you have any children?
Not as I know of.
You got a son, Mr. Stillers, or a daughter? What would you say if that sweet child came home from school one day and said that a godless teacher...
Objection. We're supposed to be choosing jury members. Prosecution is denouncing the defendant before the trial has even begun.
Objection sustained.
Mr. Stillers, do you have any personal opinions toward the defendant that might prejudice you on his behalf?
Pete? I hardly know him. He did buy some peat moss from me once and paid his bill.
Mr. Stillers impresses me as an honest, God-fearing man. I accept him.
Thank you, Colonel Brady. Colonel Drummond.
Mr. Sillers, I heard you say that you were a religious man. Tell me something. Do you work at it very hard?
I'm pretty busy
down at the feed store. My wife tends to the religion for both of us.
Oh, so you work at this life and your wife works at the next one.
Objection.
Objection sustained. Tell me, Mr. Stillers, while your wife was tending to the religion, did you ever happen to bump into a fellow by the name of Charles Darwin?
Not till recent.
Well, now, from what you've heard about this Darwin, do you think the wife might have him over for Sunday dinner?
Your Honor, I object. The counsel for the defense is trying to clutter the issue with hypothetical questions.
I'm doing your job, Colonel.
The prosecution is perfectly able to handle its own arguments.
I've just established that Mr. Stillers isn't working very hard at religion. Now, for your sake, I want to make sure he isn't working in evolution.
I'm just working at the feed store.
This man is all right. Take a box seat, Mr. Stillers.
I am not entirely satisfied that Mr. Stillers will render an honest judgment in this trial.
Out of order. The prosecution has already accepted the man.
I want a fair
So
trial.
do I.
Unless the state of mind of all the jurors conform to the laws and patterns of society.
Conform? What do you want to do? Run the jury through a meat grinder so they all come out the same way?
Your Honor.
I've seen what you can do to a jury. Twist and tangle them. No one will forget the Endicott publishing case where you actually made the jury believe that obscenity was in their minds and not on the written page. It was immoral what you did to them, tricking them. Judgment by confusion. Do you actually think you can get away with that here?
All I want to do is prevent you clock stoppers from dumping a load of medieval nonsense into the Constitution of the United States.
This is not a federal court.
Well, damn it, you gotta stop them somewhere.
Gentlemen, please, you are both out of order. The court rules that the jury has been selected. Owing to the lateness of the hour and the unusual heat, the court will be recessed until 10 o'clock tomorrow morning. Oh, Reverend Brown has asked me to announce that there will be a prayer meeting tonight on the courthouse lawn to pray for justice and guidance. You are all invited.
I object to this commercial announcement.
Commercial announcement.
For Reverend Brown's product. Why don't you announce that there'll be an evolutionist meeting?
I have no knowledge of such a meeting.
Well, that's understandable. It's bad enough that everyone who comes into the courthouse has to walk by a banner that says, "Read your Bible." Your Honor, I want that sign taken down. I want another one put up, just as big letters, saying, "Read your Darwin."
Now, gentlemen, you are out of order. The court stands recessed.
Let me hold you the coat, Colonel Brady.
Thank you, Mayor.
Exciting day, sir.
I feel by and large it went well, don't you, sir?
Yes, fine. Excellent.
Who'll be your first witness, Colonel?
You'll see.
Colonel Brady, can you autograph my hand for me, please?
Mrs. Brady had the autograph card.
Let's get Mr. Brady promise you're doing.
You're coming to us for supper tonight in the Sunday school room, Colonel. And naturally, afterwards, we'll expect you at my prayer meeting.
I don't know if it's legal what I did about that colonel business.
Don't worry, you won't get hit by a thunderbolt.
Sometimes I don't know. I just don't know.
Yes, that would be fine. Excellent.
They brought over some mail from the mansion house. These letters will gladden your hearts, Matt.
Rachel!
Yes, Father.
I don't think I have a correct copy of the indictment.
Oh, you got it all.
Well, let me have a new one.
Mr. Drummond, you've got to call the whole thing off. It's not too late. Renault did wrong. He didn't mean to. And he's sorry. Now, why can't he just stand up and tell everybody, I did wrong. I broke the law. I admit it. I won't do it again. Then they'd stop all this fussing. Everything would be like it was.
Who are you?
A friend of Bert's.
How about it, boy? Getting cold feet?
I never thought it would be like this. It's like Barnum and Bailey coming to town.
We can quit if you want to.
Yes.
People look at me as if I was a murderer. Worse than a murderer. That fellow from Minnesota killed his wife. Remember, Rach? Half the town turned out to watch him put him on the train, and they just stared at him. As if he was a curiosity. Not like they hated him. Not like he had done anything really wrong. Just different.
There's nothing very original about murdering your wife.
People I thought were my friends look at me as if I had horns growing out of my head.
You murder your wife, it isn't half as bad as murdering one of their old wives' tales. Kill one of their fairy tale notions, they call down the wrath of God, Brady, and the state legislature.
You make a joke out of everything. You seem to think it's all so funny.
Lady, when you lose your power to laugh, you lose your power to think straight.
Mr. Drummond, I can't laugh. I'm scared.
Good, you'd be a damn fool if you weren't.
You're supposed
against you. You don't know whether you're walking towards something or just walking away. Case, I'll change your plea. Call the whole business off on one condition. If you honestly believe that you committed a criminal act against the citizens of this state and the lives of their children, if you honestly believe that you're wrong and the law's right, well then to hell with it. I'll go back to Chicago where it's a cool 100 in the shade.
Bert knows he did wrong.
I'll prompt the witness.
What do you think, Mr. Drummond?
Well, I'm here. That tells you what I think. So what's the verdict, Bert? You can find yourself guilty before the jury does?
No, sir, I'm not going to quit.
Bert!
It wouldn't do any good now anyhow. If you'll stick by me, Rach, well, we can find it out.
I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do.
What's the matter, Rach?
I don't want to do it, Bert, but Mr. Brady says
What does Mr. Brady say?
they want me to testify against Bert.
You can't.
Bert, I don't mean to hurry you, but we have to close up shop.
Rachel, some of the things I've talked to you about are just things you say to your own heart. If you get up on the stand and say those things out loud, don't you understand? The words that I've said to you, softly, in the dark, just trying to figure out what the stars are for, or what might be on the backside of the moon. Don't.
Bert.
There were questions, Rach. I was just asking questions. If you repeat those things on the witness stand, Brady will make them sound like answers, and they'll crucify me.
What's your name? Rachel what?
Rachel Brown. Can they make me testify?
I'm afraid so. It'd be awfully nice if nobody had to make anybody do anything, but don't let Brady frighten you. He only seems bigger than the law.
It's not Mr. Brady. It's my father,
Who's your father?
the Reverend Jeremiah Brown. I remember feeling this way when I was a little girl. I used to wake up at night, terrified of the dark. I'd think sometimes that my bed was on the ceiling, and that the whole house was upside down, and that if I didn't hang on to my mattress, I might fall out into the stars. I wanted to run to my father and have him tell me that I was safe, that everything was all right. But I was always more frightened of him than I was of falling. It's the same way now.
Was your mother dead?
I never knew my mother. Is it true? Is Bert wicked?
Bert Cates is a good man, maybe even a great one. And it takes a woman of strength to love such a man, especially when he is a pariah in the community.
I'm only confusing him. He's confused enough as it is.
A man who thinks he has everything figured out is probably a fool. College examinations notwithstanding, it takes an awfully smart fella to say, I don't know the answer.
Don't cut this town. Leave it out.
And I hope that you will tell the readers of all your newspapers that here in Hillsborough we're fighting the fight of the faithful around the world.
A question, Mr. Brady.
Certainly, young man, where are you from?
London, sir. Reuters News Agency.
Excellent. I have many friends in the United Kingdom.
What is your personal opinion of Mr. Henry Drummond?
I'm glad you asked me that. I want people everywhere to know that I hold no personal animosity toward Henry Drummond. There was a time that we were on the same side of the fence. He gave me ample support for my campaign of 1908, and I welcomed it. But I say that if my own brother were to oppose the faith of millions, as Mr. Drummond is doing, I would challenge him still. Thank you, gentlemen. That's all for this evening. Thank you. Mr. Hornbeck, my clipping service has sent me some of your dispatches.
How flattering to know I'm being clipped.
It grieves me to read reporting that is so biased.
I'm no reporter, Colonel. I'm a critic.
I hope that you'll be attending Reverend Brown's prayer meeting this evening. It may bring you some enlightenment.
It may. I'm here on a press pass, and I don't intend to miss any part of the show.
Hello, Reverend. How are you, Mother?
Robert Brown was good enough to escort me.
I I'm looking forward to your prayer meeting this evening, Reverend.
You will find our people are fervent in their belief.
I know it's warm, Matt, but these night breezes can be treacherous, and you know how you perspire.
Mother is always so worried about my throat.
I like to begin my meetings at the time announced.
Most commendable, Reverend. Proceed.
Brothers and sisters, I come to you on the wings of the word. The wings of the word are beating loud in the treetops. The Lord's word is howling in the wind and flashing in the belly of the cloud.
I hear it! I see it!
And we believe in the word, and we believe in the glory of the word. Hearken to his word. The word says that the world was created in 7 days. In the beginning, the earth was without form and void. And the Lord said, "Let there be light." And there was light. And the Lord looked at the light, and the light looked at the Lord, and the light said, "Am I good, Lord?" The Lord said, "Thou art good."
And evening and morning were those days.
Amen!
And the Lord said, "Let there be firmament." And even as he said it, it was so. And the firmament bowed down before the Lord and said, "Am I good, Lord?" The Lord said, "Yea, thou art good."
And evening and morning were the second day.
And on the third day made he the dry land, the grass, and the fruit tree. And on the fourth day made he the sun, the moon, and the stars. And he pronounced them all good. And on the fifth day he peopled the sea with fish, the air with fowl, and made he great whales.
Hallelujah!
And he blessed them all. But on the morning of the sixth day, the Lord rose. His eye was dark, and there was a scowl on his face. Why?
Why?
Why was the Lord troubled?
Why? Tell us why.
The Lord looked at all his work, bowed down before him, and he said, "It is not good. It is not enough. It is not finished. I shall make me a man."
Amen! Amen! Bow down before the Lord!
Are we good, Lord? Tell us, are we good?
The Lord said, "Yea, thou art good, for I have made thee in my image, after my likeness. Be fruitful and multiply, and replenish the earth, and subdue it."
Lord, man, master of the earth.
Do we believe? Do we believe in the word? Do we believe in the glory of the word? Do we curse the man who denies the word?
Yes!
Do we cast out the sinner in our midst?
Yes!
Do we call down the hellfire against the man who has sinned against God?
Yes!
Lord of the tempest and the thunder, O Lord of righteousness and wrath, we ask that thou wilt make a sign unto us. Strike down the sinners, thou didst thine enemies in the days of the Pharaohs. Let him feel the terror of thy sword. For all eternity, let his soul writhe in anguish and damnation.
No, Father, no! Don't pray this strike word! No! No, no!
Lord, we call down the same curse on those who call grace to the sinner. Though they be blood of my blood and flesh of my flesh.
Flesh and blood! I know it is with the great zeal of your faith that you speak these words. But is it not possible to destroy that which we hope to save, so that there is nothing left but emptiness? Remember Solomon in the book of Proverbs. He that troubleth his own house shall inherit the wind. The Bible tells us that God forgives his children, and as children of God we should do the same. Return to your homes, my friends, and the blessings of the Lord be with you.
by standing still.
Ace told you in the schoolroom that day.
Well, he said at first the earth was too hot for any life. Then it cooled down for a mite, and cells and things began to live.
Cells?
Little bugs like in the water. And then the little bugs got to be the bigger bugs and sprouted legs and crawled up on land.
Now, how long did this take, according to Mr. Cates?
A couple million years, maybe longer. Then comes the fishes and the reptiles and the mammals. Man's a mammal.
Just like the dogs and cattle in the field. Did he say that?
Yes, sir.
Now, Howard, how did man come out of this mess and slime and ooze, according to your professor?
Man was sort of evoluted from the old world monkeys.
Old world monkeys. Did you hear that, my friends? We're not even descended from good American monkeys. Now, Howard, in all this talk of slime and ooze and evolution, did Mr. Cates ever make any reference to God?
Not as I remember.
Or the miracle he achieved in 7 days, according to the beautiful book of Genesis?
No, sir.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Objection. Would the court remind the learned counsel that this is not a Chautauqua tent? He is supposed to be submitting evidence to a jury.
Your Honor, I have no intention of making a speech. There is no need. I'm sure that everyone on the jury and within the sound of this boy's voice is moved by this tragic confusion. He has been taught that he wriggled up like an animal on the slime and filth below. I say that these Bible haters, these evolutionists are brewers of poison, and the legislature of this sovereign state has had the wisdom to demand that peddlers of poison in bottles or in books clearly mark the products they attempt to sell. I say that if this law is not upheld, this boy will become one of a generation, shorn of its faith by the teachings of a godless science. But the full measure of this law is meted out to Bertram Cates, that the faithful the whole world over, who are watching us here and listening to our every word, will call this courtroom blessed. Your witness, sir.
Well, I sure am glad Colonel Brady didn't make a speech.
I heard you say that the world used to be pretty hot. That's what Mr. Cates said.
Do you figure it was any hotter than it is right now?
Yes, it must have been. Mr. Cates read it to us from a book.
Do you know what book?
I guess that Mr. Darwin thought it up.
Now, do you think there's anything wrong with that, Howard?
Well, I don't know.
Objection. The defense is asking a 13-year-old boy to hand down an opinion on a question of morality.
I'm trying to establish, Your Honor, that Howard or Mr. Darwin or Colonel Brady or anyone in this courtroom, or you, sir, have the right to think.
The right to think is not on trial here.
With all respect to the bench, I hold that the right to think is very much on trial. It is fearfully in danger in the proceedings of this court.
A man is on trial.
A thinking man, and he is threatened with fine and imprisonment for speaking out what he thinks.
Colonel Drummond, would you please rephrase your question?
Let me put it to you this way, Howard. In all this fuss and feathers about evolution, do you think it hurt you any?
Sir?
Did it do you any harm? Did you still feel reasonably fit? And what Mr. Cates told you, did it hurt your baseball game any? Hurt your pitching arm?
No, sir. I'm a lefty.
Southpaw, huh? Still honor your mother and father?
Sure.
Haven't murdered anybody since breakfast.
Objection.
Objection sustained.
Asking in his holy faith, the scriptures but shattered.
When I need your most valuable advice, you should rest assured that I shall humbly ask for it. Howard, do you believe everything that Mr. Cates told you?
I'm not sure. I gotta think it over. Good for you.
Your pa's a farmer, isn't he?
Yes, sir.
You got a tractor?
Brand new one.
Now, do you think that tractor is sinful because it isn't mentioned in the Bible?
Don't know.
Now, Moses never made a phone call. Suppose that makes a telephone an instrument of the devil?
Never thought of it that way.
Neither did anyone else. Your Honor, the defense makes the same mistake as all godless men. He confuses material guilty with the spiritual realities of the revealed word. Why do you bewilder this child? Does right have no meaning to you, sir?
Realize the minute make as a direction. One of the peculiar imbecilities of our time is the grid of morality we have placed on all human behavior, so that every act of man is measured against the arbitrary latitude of right and longitude of wrong, in exact minutes, seconds, and degrees. Do you have any idea what I'm talking about, Howard?
No, sir.
Well, maybe you will someday. Thank you, son, that's all.
The witness is excused. You won't need you anymore, Howard. You can go back to your seat now. Next witness.
Will Miss Rachel Brown come forward, please?
Place your left hand on the Bible and raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
Now, Miss Brown, you are a teacher at the Hillsborough Consolidated School.
Yes.
And you have had ample opportunity to know the defendant, Mr. Cates, professionally.
Yes.
Now, is Mr. Cates a member of the same spiritual community to which you belong?
I object. I don't understand all this chatter about spiritual communities. If the prosecution wants to know if they attend the same church, why doesn't he ask that?
Objection overruled. You will answer the question, please.
I did answer, didn't I? What was the question?
Do you and Mr. Cates attend the same church?
Not anymore. Bert dropped out 2 summers ago.
Why?
It was what happened with the little Stephens boy.
Would you tell us about that, please?
The boy was 11 years old, and he went swimming in a river and got a cramp and drowned. Bert felt awful about it. He lived right next door, and Tommy Stephens used to come over to the boarding house and look through Bert's microscope. Bert said the boy had a quick mind, and he might even be a scientist when he grew up. At the funeral, Pa preached that Tommy didn't die in a state of grace because his parents had never had him baptized.
Tell them what your father really said. That Tommy's going with damn, grinding and hellfire.
Hey, sit up!
This is supposed to comfort people, isn't it? Not frightening to death.
We'll have order, please.
Your Honor, I move that the defendant's remarks be stricken from the record.
But how can we strike this young man's bigoted opinions from the memory of this community? Now, my dear, will you tell us some more of Mr. Cates' opinions on the subject of religion?
Objection, objection. Hearsay testimony is not admissible.
The court sees no objection to this line of questioning. Proceed, Colonel Brady.
Would you simply relate in your own words some of the conversations you had with Mr. Cates?
I don't remember exactly.
What you told me the other day, that presumably humorous remark Mr. Cates made about the Heavenly Father.
Bert said,
Go on, my dear.
I can't.
Miss Brown, may I remind you that you are testifying under oath, and it is unlawful to withhold pertinent information.
Bert was just talking about some of the things he read.
Were you shocked when he told you these things? Describe to the court your innermost feelings when Bertram Cates said to you, God did not create man. Man created God.
Bert didn't say that. He was just joking. What he said was, God created man in his own image, and man being a gentleman returned the compliment.
Go on, my dear, tell us some more. What did Mr. Cates say on the subject of matrimony? Did he compare it to the breeding of animals?
No! He didn't say that! He didn't mean that! That's not what I told you! All I said was...
Miss Brown, are you ill? Would you care for a glass of water?
Under the circumstances, I believe that the witness should be excused.
And will the defense have no chance to challenge some of the statements that the prosecutor has put in the mouth of the witness? So, Plager, let her go. No questions.
For the time being, the witness is excused. Does the prosecution wish to call any further witnesses?
None at the present time, Your Honor.
Very well. We shall proceed with the case of the defense. Colonel Dodd.
Thank you, Your Honor. I wish to call Dr. Amos D. Keller, head of the Department of Zoology at the University of Chicago.
Objection.
On what grounds?
I wish to inquire what possible
the teaching of evolution. Any testimony relating to his alleged infringement of the law must be admitted.
Irrelevant, immaterial, inadmissible.
Why? If Bertram Cates were accused of murder, would it be irrelevant to rule out expert testimony saying that the so-called murder weapon was incapable of firing a bullet?
I failed to grasp the learned counsel's meaning.
Oh. Your Honor, the defense wishes to place Dr. Keller on the stand so that he may explain to the ladies and gentlemen of the jury exactly what the evolutionary process is. How can they pass judgment on it if they don't know what it's all about?
Your Honor, I hold the very law we are here to enforce excludes such testimony. The people of this state have made it quite clear that they don't want this zoological hogwash slaughtered around their courtrooms.
Amen.
And furthermore, I refuse to allow this courtroom to be used as a platform, a sounding board for your agnostic scientists to shout their heresies into the headlines.
The court ruled that zoology is irrelevant to the case.
Agnostic scientist. Then I call Dr. Allen Page, deacon of the Congregational Church and professor of geology and archaeology at Oberlin College.
Objection.
Objection sustained.
In one breath, does the court deny the existence of zoology, geology, and archaeology?
We do not deny the existence of these sciences. They merely do not relate to this point of the law.
Then I call Walter Aronson, philosopher, anthropologist, author, one of the most brilliant minds in the world today. Objection, Colonel Brady?
Objection.
Your Honor, the defense has brought to Hillsborough at great expense and inconvenience 15 noted scientists, the great thinkers of our time. Their testimony is basic to the defense of my client. For it is my intent to prove that what Bertram Cates spoke of quietly on one spring day in Hillsborough High School is no crime. It is incontrovertible as geometry in any enlightened community of mind.
In this community, Colonel Drummond, and in this sovereign state, exactly the opposite is the case. The language of the law is clear. We do not need experts to question the validity of a law that is already on the books.
In other words, the court rules out all expert testimony on Darwin's origin of species and descent of man.
The court so rules.
Would the court admit any expert testimony on a book known as the Holy Bible?
Any objection, Colonel Brady?
The counsel can advance the case in defense through the use of the Holy Scriptures. The prosecution will take no exception.
Good. Then I call to the stand one of the world's foremost experts on the Bible and its teachings, Matthew Harrison Brady.
Your Honor, this is preposterous.
Well, it is highly unorthodox. I have never known an instance where the defense has called the prosecuting attorney as a witness.
Your Honor, this entire trial is unorthodox, but if the interests of right and justice will be served, I will take the stand.
But Colonel Brady...
The court will support you if you wish to decline to testify as a witness against your own case.
I have no intention of testifying against anything. I shall simply speak out as I have all my life on the living truths of the Scriptures.
Mr. Beaver, swear in the witness, please.
Place your left hand on the Bible, raise your right hand. Solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
I do.
And he will.
Now, am I correct, sir, in calling you as an expert on the Holy Bible?
I believe it is not boastful to say that I have studied the Bible as much as any layman, and live according to its precepts.
Bully for you. And I suppose you can quote me chapter and verse straight through the King James Version, can't you?
There are many portions of the Bible that I have committed to memory.
I don't suppose you've memorized many portions of the origin of species.
I have no use for the pagan hypothesis of that book,
Never read it?
and I never will.
Well, then how in tradition do you have the gall to move up this holy war against something you don't know anything about? How can you be so cocksure that the body of knowledge systematized in the writings of Charles Darwin is in any way irreconcilable with the spirit of the book of Genesis?
Will you repeat that question, please?
Let me put it this way. On page 19 of The Origin of Species...
I object to this. Colonel Brady's been called an authority on the Bible. Now, the gentleman from Chicago is using this opportunity to read into the record scientific testimony which you Your Honor, I previously ruled it is irrelevant. Now, if he is going to examine Colonel Brady on the Bible, let him stick to the Bible, the Holy Bible, and only the Bible.
To the Bible.
All right. I get the scent of the wind. We'll play in your ballpark, Colonel. Now let's get this straight. Let's get this clear. This is the book that you are an expert of?
That is correct.
Now do you believe every word that's written in this book should be taken literally?
Every word that is in the Bible should be taken exactly as it is given there.
Well, take the place where the whale swallows Jonah. Do you figure that actually happened?
The Bible does not say a whale, it says a big fish.
As a matter of fact, it says a great fish. That's just about the same thing. What are your feelings on that?
I believe in a God that can make a whale and make a man and make both do as he pleases.
Amen.
Yes.
I want those amens on record. I recollect a story where Joshua holds the sun in the sky. Now, you being an expert, you'll tell me that's just as true as this Jonah business, right? That's a pretty neat trick. You think Houdini could do it?
I do not question or scoff the miracles of the Lord, as do ye of little faith.
Have you ever pondered what would naturally happen to the earth if the sun stood still?
No, sir, I will let you testify to that if I get you understand.
Now, if they say that the sun stood still, well, they must have had a notion that the sun moves around the earth. Now, do you think that's the way of things? Or don't you believe that the earth moves around the sun?
I have faith in the Bible.
You don't have much faith in the solar system.
The sun stopped.
Good. If what you say actually happened, if Joshua halted the sun in the sky, well, that means that the earth stopped spinning on its axis, the continents collided into each other, the mountains flew off into space, and the earth, arrested in its orbit, shriveled to a cinder and crashed into the sun. How do you think they missed this little tidbit of news?
They missed it because it did not happen.
Must have happened according to natural law. But don't you believe in natural law, Colonel? Would you like to ban Copernicus in the schools as well as Charles Darwin? Pass a law and wipe out all scientific developments since Joshua. Revelations, period.
Natural law was born in the mind of the Heavenly Father. He can change it, he can cancel it, he can use it as he pleases. It constantly amazes me that you, apostles of science, for all your supposed wisdom, fail to grasp this simple fact.
Listen to this. Genesis 4:16. And Cain went out of the presence of the Lord and dwelt in the land of Nod on the east of Eden. And Cain knew his wife. And where the hell did she come from? Oh, Mrs. Cain. Cain's wife. If in the beginning there was only Adam and Eve and Cain and Abel, well, where does extra woman spring up from? Ever figure that one out?
No, sir, I will leave the agnostics to hunt for her.
Never bothered you?
Never bothered me.
Never tried to find out?
No.
Figure somebody pulled off another creation over in the next county.
The Bible satisfies me. It is enough.
It frightens me to imagine the state of learning in the world if everyone has your driving curiosity. Well, the book now goes into a lot of begats. And Arifax begat Sala, and Sala begat Eber, and so on and so on. Are these pretty important folks?
There are generations of holy men and women throughout the Bible.
How do they go about all this begatting?
What do you mean?
Oh, I mean, did people begat in those days the same way people get themselves begat today?
The process is about the same. I don't think your scientists have improved it any.
So these folks were conceived and brought forth through the normal biological function known as sex. What do you think of sex, Colonel Brady?
In what spirit is that question asked?
I'm not asking you what you think of sex as a father or a husband or a presidential candidate. You're up here as an expert on the Bible. What is the biblical evaluation of sex?
It is considered original sin.
When all these holy people got themselves begat through the original sin, all this sin and make them any less holy?
Your Honor, where is this leading us? What does it have to do with state versus virtual case?
The court must be satisfied that this line of questioning has solved bearing on the case.
Your Honor, you've taken away all my witnesses. You must allow me to examine the one witness you've left me in my own way.
Your Honor, I am willing to sit here and endure Mr. Drummond's sneering and disrespect, for he is only pleading the case of the prosecution through his contempt for all that is holy.
I object, I object, I object.
On what ground? Is it possible that something is holy to the celebrated agnostic?
Yes, the individual human mind. It is a child's power to master the multiplication table has more sanctity than all of your shouted amens, holy holies, and hosannas. An idea is a greater monument than a cathedral. And the advance of man's knowledge is more of a...
I think this is the best place to put it. I'm sorry it's confused, Your Honor. There is no precedent for this sort of state. You understand, sir? We're making history here today. This is the first time a public event has ever been broadcast. Well, I'll allow it, provided you don't interfere with the business of the court. Thank you, Your Honor.
Merle, I gotta talk to you. This wire just came. The boys over at the state capitol are getting worried about how things are going. Newspapers all over are raising such a hullabaloo. After all, November ain't too far off. It doesn't do any of us any good to have any of the voters all straightened up. Wouldn't do no harm, just let things simmer down. Well, go easy.
Testing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Testing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. What's that? An enunciator.
You're gonna broadcast?
We have a direct wire to WGN Chicago. As soon as the jury comes in, we'll announce the verdict.
Radio? God, that's gonna break down a lot of walls.
You're not supposed to say God on the radio.
Well, why the hell not?
You're not supposed to say hell either.
Well, this is gonna be a barren source of amusement.
Can one speak into either side of this machine?
Yes, sir, either side.
Kindly signal me if while I'm speaking my voice does not have sufficient projections for your radio apparatus.
Certainly, sir.
Jury's coming back in!
Everybody rise. Hear ye. Court will reconvene in the case of the state versus Bertram Cates.
What do you think? Can you tell from their faces?
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is Carefree Y. Eastbrook, speaking to you from the courthouse in Hillsborough, where the jury is just returning to the courtroom to render its verdict in the famous Hillsborough monkey trial case. The judge has just taken the bench, and in the next few moments, we shall know whether Bertram Cates will be found innocent or guilty.
Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, have you reached a decision?
Yes, sir, we have, Your Honor.
The jury's decision is unanimous. Bertram Cates is found guilty as charged.
Did you hear that, friends out there in the radio line? Bertram Cates has been found guilty as charged. I can tell you the representation is simply unbelievable. And now, the next voice you will hear will be that of the judge, actually announcing sentence.
Step right up and get your tickets for the Middle Ages. The only watching is the coronation of Charlemagne.
The prisoner will rise to hear the sentence of this court. Bertram Cates, I hereby
Your
sentence
Honor, a question of procedure.
you. Well, sir,
Is it not customary in this state to allow the defendant to make a statement before a sentence is passed?
Colonel Drummond, I regret this omission. In the confusion and I neglected. Mr. Cates, if you wish to make any statement before a sentence is passed on you, you may proceed.
Your Honor, I'm not a public speaker. I don't have the eloquence that some accused me of for the last few days. I'm just a school teacher.
Not anymore, you ain't.
I was a school teacher. I feel I am. I have been convicted of violating an unjust law, and I will continue in the future, as I have in the past, to oppose this law in any way I can.
Bertram Cates, this court has found you guilty of violating public data point 37, statute...
Better citizens of the unseen audience, on the hallowed hill of the sacred Sinai, in the days of remote antiquity, came the law which has been our bulwark and our shield. Age upon age, men have looked to the mountains as they would look to the law. Whence cometh our faith? And here in this...
Colonel Brady, would you step a little closer to the enunciator, please?
Here,
Fine.
as they would look to the mountains, whence cometh our faith? And here in this courtroom we have seen vindicated.
Ladies and gentlemen, our program director
The spotlights and retrograders. They stand on their hands and wiggle their feet, split pulpits with their pounding, and their tonsils turn into organ pipes. Show me a shouter, and I'll show you an also ring. A might have been.